Hi guys.
Hi, hi,
Hi.
hi, hi.
Hi guys. Hope everyone is
Yeah,
doing well and you're staying safe.
we're trying. We're trying. You look nice.
Okay. Thank you. I was filming, so yeah, that's
Okay, awesome. What were you making?
so I was filming videos for like my YouTube channel. I'm trying to use this quarantine season to create
Yeah.
content for YouTube.
Mm,
So yeah.
mm. Okay. But let me ask you, even as a content creator, how has that been going? Like, do you feel like you're like super creative this period or you're just trying your best? Be honest.
Hmm.
This is a safe space.
To be honest, I wouldn't say like I'm super creative. I'm just because I'm not fully creating content even during this period. So I'm pretty much still working my 9 to 5.
Okay.
But one thing that I would have said was that has been good is because I'm not going out, I can find a way to look for space in my time to actually just create content in bulk. So yesterday
Yeah.
on my Instagram, I was talking about batch content creating. So that's like saying, oh, today I'm going to do these types of content. I'm going ahead to do it that day and then post it all the next week. It's usually
Mhm.
difficult when you're going around and about, but like since everyone is at home, you're just
Yeah.
creating. So
Okay,
yeah.
makes sense. Okay.
Mhm.
So, I mean, you know the community, you've been one of our first people, I think,
Person.
actually. Yeah.
Yeah,
So I
yes,
don't
I
need to
have
introduce,
actually.
yeah, so I don't need to introduce the community to you. But, you know, I wanted you to introduce yourself, right? Like to tell us what you do and, you know, for your 9 to 5 and then, you know, for all the other hustles, like to hear from
Okay,
you.
all the other side hustles. Cool, cool, cool. Okay, so my name is Valery Ebunele. I am a digital content creator on the side, and I'm also a business owner. I own an online thrift store called Curated by Ava, which is like what you saw my flyer. But then apart from that, my main job, I'm a product growth associate at a financial technology company. So we work together, or rather, my team and I, we create financial products to make your life better. So yeah, that's it in a nutshell.
Okay,
Yeah.
awesome. And is this, I mean, you don't have to tell us the name of the company, but is this like financial products that we otherwise, like if we're in Nigeria, we would use, for instance,
Yes,
that we know
yes,
about?
there are products that if you're in Nigeria you would use.
Okay,
Yes.
awesome. Great.
Thank you.
Okay, so we're just going to dive right in. And then, you know, for everybody that is on here, we are going to talk about kind of like, you know, building your audience through collaboration. Collaboration is one of my favorite things. I feel like a lot of people don't quite understand it yet. That's why,
Mm.
you know, yeah. So once the community picked this topic, I was like, it's even excellent. We've
Absolutely.
used even at Scale My Hustle, we've used collaboration a lot. That's one of the things we leverage in order to grow. And I do think that a lot of businesses, a lot of bloggers, creatives, and you know people like that are not taking advantage of collaboration. So basically, I know that you still one of your side hustles. You actually do influencer marketing. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay, and that's
Yes,
kind
I
of
do.
collaboration as well, right? Like that's you would take that
Yeah, that's
collaboration.
collaboration as well.
Okay, all right, cool. So, anyways, you know, take the floor. Anything you want to talk about, you have the floor.
Let's start going.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, so let's get started. So today, hi, I think some people are saying hi. Just feel free to leave your questions in the comments thread and then we'll look through it at the end. But I'm just going to run through the points that I have. I have my laptop in front of me, so excuse me if I'm looking down. All right, so today's topic is how to grow and engage your business and audience. How to grow and engage your audience through collaboration. So, the first thing I would say is that as an entrepreneur, it's important to grow your audience. Growing your audience is really important because you need to expand beyond people that you already have access to as a business owner. That's the only way your business can keep growing. That's the only way that you can make profit. And that's the only way that your products are able to get into more people's hands and you can get more feedback on how your product is going, right? But then before you actually before you start trying to grow your audience through collaboration, there are a few things you need to do as a business owner to make sure that your business is ready to actually grow. So what are these things that you need to do? Okay, so the things that you need to do, the first thing is that you need to define your brand or your business. So like what is your business about? You can't be unsure about what your business is, and then you're trying to make your business grow. That's like a bad place to be in. It means that as you're doing that, it means that you're communicating, you have a chance of communicating different messages at different times, which is not good at all for a business owner. So you want to make sure that you take time out to define what your business is, who are you solving problems for, what problems are you solving, how are you solving those problems. These are questions that you need to take time to answer as a business owner before you think of growing your audience. Okay, then the second question is being strategic. So being strategic, the second point, sorry, is being strategic. Being strategic in the sense that where are you putting like your product? So okay, before I decide I want to collaborate with somebody, like where am I putting my products? Where can people find me? Because when I eventually decide to collaborate with someone, that's something that's going to play an important role, because the person who's collaborating with me would want to make sure that, okay, where my products are already going is in line with where they would like their own products to go. So where are you putting your products, and be strategic about where you choose to put those products. The third thing is like, where are you visible? What's your visibility like? Are you visible online? Are you visible offline? Are you visible on both platforms? You need to decide this as well, because when it's time to actually collaborate with other people to grow your audiences, you want to make sure that you're coming correct. Okay. And then the fourth thing is like recognition. So for recognition, here's what I'm going to say. Like, I know that I did a video that went out that was saying that branding is not color, logo, or packaging. But those things are under branding. That's not what branding is, but those things play a role in branding. So okay, how do people know that this is your product as a business owner when they see it? So things like your logo, your tone of voice, your packaging. So you want to make sure that all those things are already settled and are correct before
Thank you,
before
Paula.
you
I'm
thank you,
stopping to
Paula.
take.
Before you
I'm
move
stopping
on
to
to
comment.
say I'm trying to grow my audience, or I'm trying to collaborate with people, because when you're going to be someone to collaborate, you have to come correct. That's the only way people would want to collaborate with you. So taking care of these things, it's a really like good thing. Now, one way that businesses can, grow their audiences is through brand collaboration. So brand collaborations is when like two different brands come together and then they decide that they're curating unique and specific like products to address each other's audiences. So say for example, Mo and I now, right? I work in influencer marketing. I understand things about marketing and all of that. And then Mo is like a lawyer, she owns Scalemyhustle, she owns all these things, right? So Mo and I collaborating would be me bringing my marketing or influencer type skills to the table, and then Mo bringing her um, legal points to my own side. So I'm taking my marketing to Mo's legal side, and Mo is bringing her legal side to my marketing side. So that's like a very easy explanation of like what brand collaboration is. So it could take different forms, but here are like few things that you need to make sure and you need to be certain about before you even collaborate with another brand. So you want to make sure that you have similar target markets. So meaning that it wouldn't make sense for me to go and collaborate with somebody whose market audience is people that are 50 to 70 and my market audience is 18 to 35, except there's a way that our products can transcend into that demographic. So you want to make sure that you understand your audience and you understand the audience of the person that you're going to reach out to collaborate with. So say I am a hairdresser, I make hairstyles, I make wigs, and there's a makeup artist who does makeup, right? If we collaborate, it makes sense because people who like to do their hair would they'll kind of want to do makeup as well, and it'll be nice if they got a package deal, as opposed to me as a hairdresser. Then maybe I'm collaborating with someone who sells phones. I mean, there might be a connection, but but to be honest, there's not really a connection. So it's not a good like idea. The second thing is knowing your why. Why have you chosen to collaborate with this person? A lot of times people come to you and they say, I want to collaborate with you. And one thing I always ask people is that what is your goal for this collaboration? And when you ask those questions, a lot of people go mute because they haven't really like thought about it and they haven't really like decided on what the goal for their for the collaboration was in the first place. So you need to sit back and say, okay, am I trying to reach a new type of audience that I wasn't reaching before? Am I trying to launch a new product that I think it would help if I'm working with other people to launch this product? There's just different reasons why you should collaborate, but you need to sit down and ask yourself the damn question so that you're sure, and like I said before, you come correct, right? Then the third thing is to have an offer. To be honest, nobody wants to collaborate with anybody that is not going to give them value. Like, if you're not going to give people value, nobody will want to listen to you. So have an offer. What are you offering? So I'm going to say that, okay, me, I don't have I have only 500 followers on Instagram, but my email list, I have 1,500 subscribers. So if we collaborate, I would plug you into my email list so people can still see, even if my Instagram is not as big as yours. So that's a way, like, I'm offering the next person that I'm pitching a collaboration to value that they don't have. So you want to always make sure that you have a valuable offer, not just any offer. So this will take extra work because you need to like assess the person you're trying to collaborate with and see like what issues or what segments you might try to be of value of them with. So yes, have a valuable offer, right? And then
Valery,
the
is it
first
okay
thing,
if I ask a question here?
okay, yeah, sure.
Okay, so I do get a lot of questions from entrepreneurs all the time, and they tell me things like, "See, I want to really collaborate," because a lot of entrepreneurs still say that they use influencer marketing a lot, especially micro influencers. But entrepreneurs come to me all the time and they ask me things like, okay, I want to collaborate with influencers, right? I don't know anything about influencer marketing. I don't know anything about that. But one of the things that I've heard people say is that you don't necessarily have to offer money. I only know money. That's the only language I know. So if somebody comes to me for a service, I'm just like, okay, this is how much it's going to cost you. But let me ask you from your own perspective, right? Like, what are the other things that as an entrepreneur I can offer, like an influencer, for instance? Like, is there a way to approach it? Because sometimes I actually see influencers do things without even getting paid. Even me, for instance, I do have quite a big audience on Twitter on my newsletter. And then sometimes I talk about things, nobody pays me to do it. Like, I just talk about it. And then they come back to me and tell me, oh, this really helps me, blah, 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 blah. But I'm not really sure if there's anything that the entrepreneur did or anything like that, maybe except, excellent service. But if an entrepreneur wants to be deliberate about getting a particular influencer for their product to collaborate with and they don't have money, what can they do?
To be honest, this is very tricky because like at this point, as where influencer marketing is, it's going to be really depending on the kind of influencer you're reaching out to, like different influencers, different brands. So money is like really important. But if you don't have money, here are things that you can do. The first thing is to reach out to the influencer, kind of like engage with them, pay attention to them and see like how they fit into the product that you're offering. So say I'm a fashion business now, there's a fashion influencer. I follow her, I'm always commenting, I'm always doing this. One day she's going to be like, oh, I need something to wear here, or I don't know, I'm trying to find this, that kind of thing. And if that's something that I have or a product that I can offer, what I immediately do is position myself because I am prepared and my product is valuable and I'm ready. I position myself and I'm like, okay, let me handle your looks for this. Don't pay me anything, blah, blah, blah. Because I have excellent service, that influencer is going to go ahead and talk about me. Sometimes they might not, and that's totally fine. But like people might start asking them questions as long as your service was excellent and like they see what they're wearing. That's one way to go about it, like. And then gifting. Some influencers you see like people generally really like. Okay, people generally really like gifts. So sometimes what you could do is reach out to them and say, oh, hey, like they didn't say they needed anything, but you're just like plugging your product in their hand. The truth is, once somebody comes in contact with something and they like it, they will speak about it at least one time. Like I know people who have sent me like just gifts, and I've actually put them maybe not on my feed but on my Insta stories. I'll be like, oh, receive this thing, packaging is really cute, I really like it. Or like 1 week later I'm like, oh, try this, great. So those are like 2 ways you can do it. The third way is to I feel like those are the 2 major ways, just like preparing yourself for when they have an issue that they need to be solved, or like gifting them. Those are like the 2 easiest ways. I want to say saying this for some people, like reach out to influencers and say, okay, affiliate marketing, just promote me, then you get this cut or something like that. You're not paying them, you're just giving them a commission. But it's tricky. Me personally, I'm not a fan of affiliate marketing. I wouldn't lie to you. I don't like to do it just because I feel like when you start talking about things over and over, like in a way that is obvious that you're marketing it because you're getting value from it, I feel like it becomes tiring. So I don't really go that route, but that's another route that you could definitely go.
Yeah. Okay, thank you so much. I'm sorry I broke your flow, but please continue.
Yeah, that's okay. That's fine. That's all right. So I stopped at having a valuable offer. So the next thing is like channels. So before you collaborate with someone, you want to analyze what channels they're strong in, and make sure that those channels would be of benefit to you. So if I'm trying to reach, say, young career professionals or medium aged career professionals, maybe I should not be collaborating with somebody whose Instagram page is popular around people between the ages of 18 to 20. I should be looking at someone who maybe like has a presence on LinkedIn, that kind of thing. So making sure that their channels would give you the goals that you're looking to gain. So the next thing is bringing on your creativity. So you want to make sure that your collaboration makes sense, like you're creative, you do something new, so that way not only are the customers actually going to pay attention to what you guys are trying to do, but you also leave a lasting impression in the minds of the person that you collaborated with. So if you ever come back to them to do something with them, they would always be receptive because they saw you bring on your A game when they collaborated with you before. And then the 5th thing is be professional about your approach. Approach is everything. Like, you don't want to shoot somebody a DM and say hi and they don't reply you, and you say, well, like, try to collaborate and they didn't respond to me. Not at all. You want to make sure that you prepare a really good message or email. Emails, I always tell people to always do emails. You can do emails, and then after they don't respond to your emails, you can follow up with the DMs. Some people say business goes down in the DM. It really depends, but shoot that person an email. If they don't respond, then compose a like shorter email to tell them what you want. But here's one structure that I figured out really helps when you're trying to communicate with another person is, number 1, say who you are. Keep it short, simple, like in one line. Who are you? Don't tell them the story of your birth or anything, just like who are you in one line. And the second line is what you're offering, and the third line, and then while you're mentioning, when you're done mentioning what you're offering, mention what they'll get. If you send your emails or your messages like that, the moment anybody scans through, they're understanding everything that you're trying to tell them. They don't need to go back and forth, and in that moment it's easier for them to make a decision and get you on board and move on, like, and you guys can move on with whether you're collaborating or whether you're not collaborating. Right. So I have a few collaboration ideas for like businesses, but let's first talk about the advantages of collaboration before we go to the ideas. So the first one is increased brand reach / brand awareness. So when you collaborate with other people who have never come in contact with your business before, or who have never seen your business before, have the chance to see your business. The second one is increased customer base. So this is where, like, trying to make sure that you're targeting similar audiences, or like maybe I've been targeting a particular audience, but I want to change my route and I'm trying to collaborate with someone who is in that route I'm trying to change. It helps me increase my customer base. I can bring more people. So this is just because there's a difference between people knowing about your brand and people actually being customers. They are 2 different things. They are two huge different things. So you then have the opportunity to introduce that new audience to actually become your customers. The third thing is knowledge sharing. When you collaborate with other business owners, you learn things from their experiences that you wouldn't have known in your own experiences if you were just working on your own path. So there's knowledge sharing when you collaborate. And the last thing is like partnering with the right brand can strengthen your credibility. So there's brand with, there's brand awareness, but there's also credibility because I see a certain brand that I already trust and I know that they deliver. So I know that if this brand should decide to partner with this other brand, they're doing that because this other brand is quality and good. So me as a customer, I already feel drawn to engage with this new brand, even if I didn't know them before. Should we take questions now or we should like finish the questions?
Yeah, we can take questions. I was just also going to add something to the final point. So the thing about collaboration also is that everybody wants to collaborate with a good brand, right? One of the things that Scale My Hustle interestingly was able to do is it's built a brand independent of myself, and it was deliberate because in the beginning I was like, okay, I don't want this to be a more thing. It's not a more thing. And then we were kind of like really deliberate about it in the beginning. In fact, a lot of people didn't even know that, you know, it had anything to do with me. I've been in situations, even like a month ago, I was in Kenya and then somebody was introducing Scale My Hustle to me. I was like, man, Damo, have you heard of Scale My Hustle? You should definitely follow them.
Wow.
That happens to me all the time. So but I recently just started talking about Scale My Hustle on like my personal page, on in my newsletter and all of that. But only when I was comfortable that the brand itself has built, you know, on its own. Now, one of the things we noticed with collaboration was that even people that would otherwise not, maybe they don't like me or they don't know me or whatever, but because the brand on its own has been able to stand on its own and it was a brand that people liked, every time we reached out for collaboration, people would say yes. Like it was, and we used to get the kind of thing, the feedback we used to get is something like, oh, Scale My Hustle, yeah. So he's like, Scale My Hustle, oh my God, I love that brand. And that's one thing that I kept saying because I was like, people never use the word like, they will use the word love. So I'm like, wait, what's going on? So I don't know what we did and when we started backtracking, but one of the things I do know that collaboration is easier when you have built a brand that is respectable, right? When somebody just said I should follow Scale My Hustle, I will. So when you build a brand that is you know, that is strong on its own and has actually done good stuff, people would actually want to collaborate with you, right? Like, so even you yourself won't do much hard work. So that's also another thing about collaboration as well. The brand itself, you have to put in work into your own brand. So yeah.
Yeah, and Scale My Hustle also offers value, quality. Yeah, so that's another thing as well. So it's not only about building a brand that people love. There are brands that on the outside you love the brand, but then when you actually engage, you find out that there's no quality and there's no value. So quality and value with brand love. So yes.
Yes. Yeah. So let me see. Okay, so I don't really know how this question thing works. Okay, so this person is saying, where am I? I'm in my father's house. If you have okay. So Wale, yeah, so take the question, Valerie, please.
I think I have the questions are in the comments, right? Wow,
yeah, so
there's so many comments.
Yeah, okay, so I can see one here though. So this person says, how does someone start a tech company in Nigeria? How do we find the right people? How do you scale your resources? This looks like a Scale My Hustle question. Why don't you put up a DM and then we'll answer that? That's my collaboration question. And I don't want to take over this session. Okay. I do have another question for you though. So, you know, like if like you did mention something about like how we should collaborate with other people so we can tap into their audience. What if, you know, like, do you always have to collaborate with people that are bigger than your brand? Like, what if is it what's your time to collaborate with smaller brands? Do you get what I mean? Because let's say
so
I
feel like
or whatever.
Okay, so I feel like it really depends. It really depends on like what the goal of your collaboration is. So that's why I said that someone might have like 500 followers on Instagram, which seems like they're a small brand, but they have an email list of like 5,000 subscribers. But then we know that email marketing is like direct marketing. So if I collaborated with somebody like that, I would still get value. So on the outside, it seems like that brand is a small brand, but like that brand isn't really a small brand because they have direct access to that big amount of customers. What I always tell people is that, well, looking at numbers is great, but your goals should influence who you decide to collaborate with. I think I've worked with like smaller creators before. It's not every time that the creatives or creators I work with are always like bigger than me. Sometimes they are, but sometimes they're smaller ones. And another thing people always need to remember about like smaller people is that when the circle is smaller, there's tighter engagement. There's a higher probability of a response or direct engagement as to like when the circle is really big. So do not overlook brands in your circle, like in your niche, or brands that you think are smaller than you. Just study that brand and try to see like where you can plug in or have value from them if those smaller brands do reach out to you as a bigger brand. So,
I think I agree as well. Even with influencers as well, like, you know, most of my clients tell me that they get a lot of value from micro influencers because a lot of people trust micro influencers, and it's you know, a very tight circle. So there's a question here. So there's a question here that says, how does hello, I'm a writer. What sort of businesses should I be looking to collaborate with? That's interesting. Okay, get away.
So I was going to like run through a few collaboration ideas, but let me see. As a writer, what kind of businesses can you collaborate with? There are publishers, online media, maybe a fashion brand that wants to have a story for their next collection. They want like a really nice story, not a generic story. So the thing is that you need to get creative with these things. You actually need to take a step back and be like, okay, how can I use this thing I have to collaborate with someone? And then you start thinking about what you could do for this brand. So yeah, or a beauty brand that wants to do like a really nice campaign about something new, and like what you could be offering could just be, okay, I'll be doing like storylines for your campaign. So that's a really good angle for being a writer.
Yeah, I actually like that because there's an example of something I just bought recently. I'm trying to remember his name. I think it's called John Pelumi. But the only reason why I bought from him, well, not the only reason, before I looked at the clothes, he had a story. So he had a story. He was even selling male clothes for it. What I bought for him was like a kaftan. But he had a story. So there was a storyline about like how a lot of his stuff were made from recycled materials and everything like that. But that's not all he said, right? He had it into like a story, into like a paragraph. You know, I read the story and I was like, oh my God, I really like this. So after reading the story, then I went to him and I was like, okay, let me see your collection. And he's like, oh, this is what it has. It's for guys. I'm like, I want to buy it. And I bought it. So yes, so I do think that writers do have that flexibility to collaborate across brands. Yes.
Yeah, and another thing you should always also remember is that people buy into stories. So with whatever you're doing, decide what story you're trying to tell and make sure that everything that you're doing is one paragraph, one sentence, one piece in that bigger story. So yeah. Okay, so collaboration ideas for businesses. The first one is affiliate marketing. I know I said I'm not a fan, but it's a collaboration idea. So working with other people to help you like push your brand, push your product, and they get a certain like percentage back and all. And the second one is Instagram takeovers or joint Instagram live session like we're doing now, or like yes, like we're doing now. You can just work with someone whose business complements yours, and you guys just both educate your audiences on, you know, both you people's businesses. The third one is collaborative content marketing. So finding ways to plug something into something, in the sense that maybe I'm a fashion brand, right? And then I decide to collaborate with a makeup brand, and I'm talking about 5 ways to style a white t-shirt. But then instead of just talking about t-shirt, because I'm collaborating with a makeup brand, what I can do is what lipsticks go better with what colors of shirt. That way, I've already plugged in this makeup brand that doesn't have anything to do with what I would usually sell into like that. So that's how to collaborate to do content. So with content marketing, I've realized that educative content, entertainment does well, but educative content resonates better and like sticks to people. I don't have like numbers in my head to back that up, but most times when you do educative content, people usually like resonate, they save, they go back to it. So just make sure that you're doing educative collaborative content when you're trying to do content marketing. The next one is partnership deals or discounts. So saying, okay, if you buy items worth 20,000 naira from Valery, you get a free more glasses or something like that. So, I mean, I've already put the costing of most glasses in my pricing of what I'm selling, but then you just feel like, oh, I'm getting this extra thing. That's a way of collaborating, and then you experience most products, and if you really like most products, you can always go back and shop directly from more or keep buying from me till you get extra more stuff. So it always depends. And then the last one is email marketing. This is really good if you have, and see, let me tell you guys, if you don't have an email list, please try to build one. I know people might say, how can you build one? This one is a different story entirely. Maybe I'll check later or something, but really access people. I can decide product in, and I have my blog. Mo, are you there? Hello? Okay, so 3, 4, 5. These are the 5 ways you can collaborate with. These are the 5 ideas that you can use to, collaborate with other business owners if you don't want to take time out to find something new from. Mo, are you there?
I am.
Okay,
Nigerian
okay.
network
All
was giving me
right, sorry.
trouble, but back. Yeah.
Fair. So this person says, as a bookseller, what kind of brand should I be looking out to collaborate with? So you need to get creative. What kind of brands? You could plug yourself pretty much into any brand. You just need to come up with original ideas as to how your product is going to complement that other brand. So let me say, for example, I'm a bookseller. I can decide to collaborate with someone who sells candles or homeware because I have books that are aesthetically pleasing. So people who are buying candles or homeware will automatically want to buy books that they use to style their spaces. So that way, collaboration with that kind of brand would be good, as long as the target audience is kind of the same demographic that I'm targeting. So you just want to get creative with these things. Not really anything
Yeah.
goes, but if you come up with ideas, you'll be fine. Just like figure something out that works and then just do it.
Mm-hmm. I also can give another example. So you can actually collaborate with travel bloggers, for instance. When people are traveling, they are constantly reading stuff on the plane, on the train, at the
True.
during vacation and stuff like that. People also use books as props when they are taking pictures, right? So travel bloggers is something that I think that as a bookseller, you can definitely collaborate with. So when they take a picture at the airport about to board their flight or something, they are reading a book and all of that, that's a good way for for you to collaborate as well. So yeah. Again, you do have a lot of people who are sharing educative content as well. So look to those kind of people that tweet educative stuff or tweet stuff about reading and stuff like that. And people follow them because of all that kind of stuff. Those are the kind of people that you should be collaborating with. Valery, I did have a question. So as a as an entrepreneur, right, who doesn't really understand this entire space, will you say that I can get someone, you know, to help me out with my collaboration? Like, is this something I can outsource to somebody and say, see, I don't know who my brand should be collaborating with. Can somebody help me draw out a collaboration plan? Something like that. Is there somebody I can reach out to? Yeah.
So one service that I'm trying to work on to put out is actually like what's it called? Branding for like businesses or like people or stuff like that. So this is how it would, if someone created a like a rebrand or like a branding and strategizing plan for you as a person or a business, if I can also be able to plug in that, oh, based on this, this, and this, here are a list of people you can collaborate with. So you're not necessarily outsourcing. You didn't just wake up and say, oh, I want to collaborate, I need somebody. You could also pay people who are into like communications or marketing. Those people usually have an idea about those type of things, but just because you said, if I don't know who my brand, like what my brand is, my target audience, all of that, someone who helps you out with branding can help you figure out all those things.
Okay.
So yeah,
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
So do we have any more questions?
Let me see. Oh yeah, you're welcome. I see this email list. Somebody was saying that you talk about email lists. We were not planning on talking about emails today, but yeah.
I wasn't planning on talking about. I'm doing an ebook soon, so when my ebook comes out, come and buy it.
Yeah. Is it on email marketing or general or
so
general?
What I'm working on is like bringing out doing like a topic and then 3 books in that topic. So because email marketing is something that I've seen that a lot of people, and this is not like the first person say, oh, explain email marketing and stuff. So there'll be one on email marketing for sure.
Okay.
So wait on it.
Yeah.
It should be coming out soon, maybe like by the end of this month, beginning of next month. But if you do follow me, once it comes out, you will know. So yeah.
And then
I'll break down
Valery, once it's out, also let us know, right? So we can post it as well. Yeah. Happy to do that.
Yeah, I would share once it's out. Someone says, how can you ensure smart collaboration? If you follow all the tips I mentioned today, trust me, your collaboration will be smart.
Oh, then what if during the collaboration, how do you handle drama? One of the reasons why people say that they don't, you know, they are reluctant to collaborate, right, is because they're like, see, I don't want to deal with, you know, partnership drama and anything like that. So I'm just wondering, if I want to collaborate with someone, because me, I'm a lawyer, the first thing that happens is that I draw up a contract. I mean, if it's an Instagram live, something like this, like that's not a big deal. But like for most of my collaborations, I have a contract, right? I don't do influencer marketing, but from time to time, banks, brands, especially like finance related brands, come to me and tell me to, you know, to do stuff. Yeah, so before I even do anything with them, I typically have like my contract set up and everything like that, and then my law firm just handles it. But if, for instance, I am a, you know, growing business and all of that, and then I collaborate with a brand or somebody else, and then shit just goes to the fan, right? Like how do I navigate that? How do I navigate those waters when things become, you know, murky and messy? Because, you know, it's bound to happen. Or how do I prevent, right?
Okay, so what I would say, having an understanding of what is required from each party. So if it's a serious legal contract, just something that states what each person is supposed to do, so that if anything goes south, you have something to hold on to. So this is why I am a huge fan of emails, phone calls. Like, it's not great, except maybe after the phone call, you're sending out to say, oh, following up on what we discussed, this, that type of thing. The second thing is, to be honest, I would just say, while you're doing your research and your vetting, sometimes things might go south, so you can't really control these things, but good people management, trying to see who, this is not like business sense now, this is more like just everyday life sense. So personally for me, when I choose to work with people, I try to make sure that I'm working with people that my spirit goes with, people that like I feel like things won't go south with. And when things do, I know that in life you need to take some L's and move on and learn your lessons and make sure that all the things that you overlooked in that situation you don't overlook again. So yeah, those are like my tips for that.
Okay, awesome. It sounds good. I think also, yeah, just doing due diligence, right? Just like you mentioned, saying, and even asking, right? Another thing that you can do is like you can just look through and see if the brand has collaborated with anybody before, and then you can just reach out to two or three of those people and say, see, you collaborated with this brand. I'm just asking. I'm just wondering how it went and what happened. Yeah.
Okay, so there's this question. It says, do we necessarily have to give out products or offer services for free during what kind of value do people bring in during collaboration? It doesn't have to be products or services. So the reason why I've been saying products or services is because I believe that most people paying attention to people that tune into this live, they're business owners, and business owners are usually either selling products or services. And everybody sells products or services. If you're a designer, your designing is your service. So you kind of have to know. So giving people products or services doesn't mean that you're giving it to them for free, depending on the type of collaboration you're doing. So it could be as simple as me plugging my product with the costing into another person's bundle deal. And it means that when that person sells, they're giving me my money. So I did not give out that product for free and make so it's not. So yeah, you're not necessarily always giving out products or services. You don't have to give out products or services for it to actually be collaboration. So yeah, I hope I answered that question right.
Yeah, I think so.
All right. So I think that's it. I think that's about it. Thank you so much, Scalemyhustle, for hosting me. And
yeah, thank you so much, Valery. So please let us know, like, once your ebook is ready. As you know, I'm always happy to support. You've been supporting us from day one, so love it, love it, love it. Thank you.
Love you guys. You guys are doing amazing.
Thank you. And I can't wait to read your ebook, and I will definitely share it with the community. So yeah, bye everybody.
All right. So yeah, currently I have like a free ebook. So it's on like 7 tips to win Instagram. It's free. All you have to do is put your email and you'll get it in your inbox for free. So you can click the link in my bio, check the resources tab on my website, and you just see Instagram guide. So you can download it just in case Instagram is a platform you use for your business. Just tips and tricks on how to win Instagram.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
All right.
Gonna
Thank you so much, everyone.
On our stories so people would know.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. All right. Bye, guys. Bye.
Bye.